Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is wall. W-A-L-L.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! That's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again, all ready to start the new season with $1,000 for one of our couples. Fenneman, who's first to try for it?
Well, a couple about to be married, Groucho. They were selected by the studio audience just before we went on the air.
Really?
They are Corrine Dressler and Elmer Rich.
People?
Step right up here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And if you say the secret word while we're talking, you will divide $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. A couple about to be married. Corrine Dressler, is that...
That's right.
And Elmer Rich, huh?
Yes, Groucho.
So you two are about to set sail on the sea of matrimony, eh? Mr. Dressler, where are you from?
I'm from the Tri-City, Dubuque, Iowa.
Is that three cities, Dubuque, Iowa?
Well, it's right on the boundary of Illinois, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
Oh, well, that's very educational. Huh? And Mr. Rich?
I'm from
Where are you from?
a small corner of South Dakota near Alcester.
Oh, you look like Jimmy Roosevelt. Only he wears a necktie, huh? How old are you?
22.
20. And you?
30.
30. Just think, I'm old enough to be your father. If you think long enough, I'm old enough to be your grandfather. What sort of work do you do, Elm? I'll call you Elm. That's a tree I used to know in North Dakota. Huh?
I work for the Owens, Illinois Glass Company
Owens, Illinois Glass Company? Where is Owens, Illinois?
in Vernon, California.
Has Rand McNally heard about this?
I mean, Owens, Illinois.
Elmer, let's start all over again. Just where is Owens, Illinois?
Originally such place as Owens, Illinois.
You just said it was in Vernon, California. I hope your glass is clearer than your geography. What is your job at this plant specifically?
I'm a production recorder.
Production recorder, and what does that consist of?
Well, after the ware is put in boxes, it's put on wheel wagons. And
I didn't get the first.
after the bottles, the ware. We call it ware.
Why don't you call it bottles? It's too simple.
I guess so. I don't know. But anyway, it's
Have you ever inquired? Why don't you ask the foreman at the plant why they don't call them bottles, since they are bottles?
Yeah, I don't know. I never
You just
thought
stand there and giggle at the foreman, huh? Tell me you're a stick to get bounced. Well, anyway, what is your job?
I'm a production recorder.
No, we passed that point some time ago, huh?
Well, the job consists of checking out all bottles that have been packed in boxes that have been sent out of the packing room to be shipped to different customers. And I record all that, which in turn is sent to the accounting office for their records.
And then they destroy it, I suppose. Huh? And where do you work, Corrine? Where do you work?
I work at Owens, Illinois, too.
For a town that doesn't exist. Owens, Illinois has a bigger population than Vernon, California. How did you meet this chap?
I was working one day, and he used to come around every hour to check the offware. And
That's what you thought. Huh?
well, he didn't pay any attention to me for a long time, and I noticed him. But one day he finally noticed me for some reason or other, and he asked me.
What was the reason?
I don't know.
I know, but I won't tell you. You know, two can play at that game. I can be just as coy as you can. Well, anyway, you looked him over. He had looked you over.
And finally, he came up and asked me for a date. And then after that, he used to stop around every half hour.
Must have got a lot of work done at that plant. And what is your job at the factory?
I'm a selector.
A selector?
Yes.
Isn't that strange? I knew you were a selector the moment I saw you. If I met you on the street, I'd say to myself, there's a selector if I ever saw one. Now then, what is the selector?
Well, I pack all the ware in boxes.
You call it wares too, huh?
Yes. And I check it for all defects, for cracks and for bullheads.
Bullheads?
Yes.
What do? Do you go fishing in this plant? Was that how you selected Elmer? You examined him to see if he was cracked? Well, let's talk about your future as man and wife. How much do you figure it's going to cost the two of you to live for a month, Elmer?
I don't believe it costs as much as it does now.
Elmer, how do you figure it'll cost you less to live after you're married?
Well, I won't be going out eating dinner every night and going to movies and out to races. And...
Is this true, Corrine? Aren't you? Are you going to cut down on the entertainment?
Well, we don't go out to dinner very often, and we don't go to too many movies. Haven't been to the races in a long time.
Elmer, you're trapped in one of your own bottles. Elmer, why don't you forget this girl and marry the one you've been spending all your money on? Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at $1,000. Before you do, pay close attention to Fenneman, who is speaking for all of us on the show.
Well, folks, this is our first program of the fall season. And by our, I mean the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. These dealers are glad to be bringing to you once again Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. They welcome these weekly opportunities to tell you something about themselves and the way they try to do business. They want you to know they feel that you, as a customer, deserve the very best their service crews can give you. They try to do every servicing job as quickly and as economically as possible. The mechanics who work on your car are skilled in the latest servicing methods and have the finest equipment to work with. They aim to treat you courteously every time you drive in. So find out soon what it means to be really satisfied with the folks who care for your car. Just visit a DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow.
All right, now, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. Fenneman, tell them the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show. You see, our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Well, that's fair enough. Here we go. Now, let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected national parks as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
10.
10? In what state is the Grand Canyon National Park?
Arizona.
Arizona is right.
And they're on the way, Groucho. They have $30.
All right, you got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you bet on your second question?
20.
20, huh? You don't pay any attention to her at all. All right, in what state is Mount Rainier National Park?
Washington.
Washington is correct.
They're really fighting now. They have $50.
All right, here's your third question. How much of the 50 will you bet?
20.
Not
Betting,
yet.
you're betting $20?
Yes.
Just ignore them out there, huh? Here's your third question. You're betting $20. In what state is the Everglades National Park?
Florida.
Florida is right.
They're really up there now. They have $70, Groucho.
All right, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 70 will you bet?
All right, 10.
$10. In what state is Carlsbad Cavern National Park?
Oh, New Mexico.
New Mexico is correct.
And they wind up with a grand total of $80.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, don't go too far away. You may get a chance at the big question.
Our next couple doesn't know that the secret word is wall. Perhaps they'll say it while they're talking to you. Okay, fellas?
Perhaps.
Bring them in. We invited some women to the show tonight who operate self-service laundries. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Pauline Jenks. Her partner is a married man from the audience, Mr. Huntley Chapin. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. A self-service laundry operator and a married man, eh? Mr. Chapin, how long have you been a self-service laundry operator?
I'm a married man.
I wondered he had such a clean shirt on. That's what fooled me. Where are you from, married man?
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo? Mm-hmm. Now, Mrs. Pauline Jenks, you must be the laundry operator. Now, come cleaner, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Glendale.
Glendale, huh? And Mr. Chapin, what are you doing in California?
I'm living here.
Well, now that I get a good look at you, I imagine you are. I mean, what kind of work do you do?
Well, I'm in rather an unusual occupation, I believe. The fly trapping business.
What is a fly trap?
A fly trap catches flies.
That's certainly a logical answer. It doesn't clear up anything for me, but it's logical anyway. How do you mean a fly trap catches flies? Can't you catch them with your hand? Need a machine for that?
That'd keep you too busy, I believe.
Well, I have nothing to do all week, you know. Now, do you ever do your washing in a self-service laundry, Mr. Chapin?
No, I don't.
Where do you do your washing?
I don't do it.
You don't wash?
No.
Well, I suppose it's all the way you're brought up. Well, does your wife ever patronize a self-service laundry?
Yes, she does.
She does, huh? Now, Miss Jenks, tell us something about your washing emporium. What is the self-service laundry?
Well, a self-service laundry is where
It's a cafeteria for underwear?
it's where a housewife brings her weekly wash.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, as a self-service laundry operator, has anything unusual ever happened to you?
Well, not particularly in connection with the laundry business that I can think of right now. I can remember one time about 15 years ago when I was in Laguna Beach, something unusual happened.
Well, we won't tell anybody.
I was out swimming with a girlfriend, and we used to swim a long ways out from shore, and we used to swim all on natural because we could get a lot more speed.
You
and
mean on the
freedom
half
with
shell?
stroke. And while we were swimming one day, we had a surfboard with us, and one would hold the suits while the other practiced swimming, and we'd take turns. And I happened to look toward shore, and I saw the lifeguards setting out in their boat. So I got
How many lifeguards were there coming out?
Three.
Three and only two girls? Well, that's Laguna for you. At Santa Monica, there'd have been 7. So anyway,
Well,
there you are, naked in the middle of the Pacific
That's
Ocean.
Right.
That was the year I had to go to the mountain. That's been the history of my life. I've always made the wrong move.
Well, they rode around a couple times and they left, and I finally had to laugh about it too, although I wasn't laughing at the time.
Well, let's get back to the cleaning business. Now, suppose I slink into your bathhouse with my moldy laundry. What's the first thing that happens?
Well, you put your laundry in the machines, and then we give you a ticket.
I'm only going 20 miles an hour. Look, if I throw my laundry in your machine, the first thing that would happen is the machine would throw it right back. When do I put in the soap?
Oh, well, you don't put in the soap. We put in the soap for you because...
Oh, thank you. I'll put in my own soap.
You might put in too much and get the machine frothing.
The machine starts frothing? What do? Do you shoot it before it bites somebody?
No, we turn it off in that case.
All right. Now my socks are happily splashing in your machine. Now what do? Do I have to rinse them out?
Oh, no, our machine does everything.
When machines start doing everything, that's when I start selling my Liberty Bonds. Well, now that I know all about self-service laundry, let's see how well you two make out in the battle for the $1,000. You got to run your $20 into more than our other couples. I can't tell you how much the first couple won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The young couple about to be married won $80.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected friends and companions as your category. Fenneman, be here on time in the future, will you? Or you can turn in your uniform. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try? $10. What was the name of Robinson Crusoe's companion?
Friday.
Friday is right. And they're on their way. They have $20, Groucho. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, you have $30. How much of the 30 will you risk?
30.
30. What was the name of John Alden's friend?
Miles Standish.
What's
I was
that?
going to say they have $60.
They have $60. All right, here's your third question. How much of the 60?
30.
$30. All right. What was the name of Tom Sawyer's friend?
Finn.
Huckleberry Finn is right.
Now they have $90.
All right, you got $90, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. Now, how much will you bet?
Oh, let's bet it all, shall we?
Okay. Make it easy.
You're going to be clean anyhow in the laundromat. You might as well be clean here. Little John of Sherwood Forest was a friend and follower of what leader?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood is right.
And they wind up with a grand total of $180.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, we'll soon know who gets the chance at the $1,000 question. Fenneman, come in here and tell us who's ahead so far.
The couple who was just up here, the lady that runs the automatic laundry and the married man from the audience, are ahead with their $180.
I see.
Secret word is still wall.
Still wall. Okay.
We went searching through the audience tonight for some people with unusual occupations. And just before we went on the air, we selected Mary Mitchell, and her partner is Mr. William Peeler. Folks, come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, kids. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mary Mitchell, is that right?
Correct.
Mary Mitchell, and William Peeler. Mrs. Mitchell, where are you from?
Liberal, Missouri.
Libra, Missouri?
That's right.
What is the population of that town?
800.
800.
Before I left.
Is that why you left, Mrs. Mitchell?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, you may before the evening is over. Now, Mr. Peeler, where are you from?
I'm from Iowa.
Now, you were chosen tonight because of your unusual occupations. Mrs. Mitchell, what is your occupation?
I am associated with the Cat Care Club.
A cat care club?
Cat Care Club.
Well, what is a cat care club?
Well, we rescue cats and find homes for them.
Do you give cats to anybody who asks for one? For example, could I have a cat?
Well, you would have to qualify. You'd have to be investigated.
I can't even get a skunk to live in my house. What do you mean? I've been investigated. How many cats do you have at the present time?
Oh, about 150.
Well, where do you get your cats?
Oh, people phone from all over the country, all over the county, and even other counties. Just before I came down here, a woman called me and wanted me to take care of 35 cats. She started out with one cat a short time ago, and now she has 30 cats. She's 35. She says she sees her mistake. But it's too late, so I must take the cats.
Mrs. Mitchell, biologically, that's not possible. You can't start off with one cat and then have 30 cats.
Well, she did
You have
take
to start off with 2 cats.
Well, in
That
fact,
much I know about cats.
I know. 2 stray cats came in after she took the one cat. So she really started with 3 cats.
Oh. Well, that's more like it, anyway. Now, what is your unusual occupation, Mr. Peeler?
Well, I am a wood carver. I take a solid block of wood like this, and in 5 minutes and 23 seconds, I have a pair of pliers that'll open and shut like that.
Are these pliers? I thought those were bow legs.
And, well, they look like bow legs, but
Yeah.
they're
I used to
really a
have a
little
guy
pair
look
of
like
pliers. Mm-hmm.
They're pliers, huh?
Yes. You see,
Well,
I
that's very clever.
made my glasses out of wood, and my watch chain, that's made out of one solid block of wood, and it isn't put together, and you can't take it apart.
Is this for me?
Yes, that's for you. You
Oh,
may
you
keep
should
that
have,
for a
huh?
souvenir. Yes. I sell those for souvenirs.
Oh, you sell them.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
here, you better take it back.
No, you can keep that.
I don't want to get involved in any finance with you. Huh?
All right.
Now, where do you do this whittling?
Well, in store windows and before Kiwanis clubs and Rotary clubs and Boy Scout groups mostly.
Is there pretty good money in your business? Is it true you're always in the chips?
Well, I managed to... I make these pliers. I sell them for $1 a piece.
Oh, let's see that. I've never seen one of those.
And,
Oh, that's very interesting. Is this for me?
yes, if you want it.
Oh, you shouldn't have. I may get enough for all the brothers here tonight. Huh? I'll have his watch before he leaves here. You say people pay $1 a piece for those wooden pliers? Why?
Well, you see, I throw in a $50 bill with each pair that I sell.
Well, that's
Free.
a pretty good come on, huh? I can see you have a very good head for business, Mr. Peeler. Have you had it examined lately? Now tell me, Blockbuster, that's because you're a woodcarver. Tell me, how do you make money giving away $50 bills?
Well, you see, I print my own money. That's why I can do it.
Well, that explains it. I'm relieved to know that you're not doing anything dishonest, Mr. Peeler. Now, as one counterfeiter to another, why do you do it?
Well, because, you see, we got a lot of colors in the rainbow, and we got a lot of different kinds of money, and all of the money we've ever had has always been green on the back. Well, one year I want to print the $100 bills red and the $50 bills blue and the $20 bills brown. And then I want to come out over the microphone and say, all you people that got a $100 bill that's red on the back, dated 1950, I'm going to call it in 3 weeks from tomorrow at a discount. Now, you go home and get that $50 bill or that $100 bill out from under the rug, and you go down, you buy that suit of clothes you've been looking at for the last 6 months, but you were too stingy to buy the suit of clothes because you thought more of the money than you did of the clothes. But if you hang on to the money, you're going to have pay a discount. So when you buy the suit of clothes and the factory opens up and hires another guy, and we've got more prosperity than we've got now. And that's the way I intend to eliminate all unemployment and all poverty in the state of California by just changing the money a little bit, making it different colors and putting a date on it and calling it in every once in a while.
I used to think I talked a lot, huh? Now, Mr. Peeler, have you always been a whittler?
No, I have been in the real estate business, and then I ran for Congress in 1935 over in the valley. Yes.
So what happened when you ran for Congress?
Well, out of 150,000 votes, I only lacked 952, getting enough to go down to Congress. But you see, I didn't have quite enough money. My major opponent, he spent $25,000, and I only had 10. But with that 10, I bought a little automobile and put loudspeaker horns on it and had a microphone in front of the wheel, and I'd go down the street and I'd say, Peeler for the people. Peeler peels the peeling from the pension problem. He puts the plan plainly and paints pretty pictures of its possibilities. Please put this paper on your piano, and if you like him, put him in Congress. Plan to hear him tonight at the high school. Everybody come out.
I'm surprised you got any votes. Well, you've been an interesting couple, and we're happy to have you here. Now, we're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other two couples, and you get a chance at the $1,000. At the DeSoto Plymouth question, that's the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but Fenneman's all going to remind our listeners.
The woman from the self-service laundry and the married man are ahead with $180.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous rivers as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
Half.
Half? Is that all right with you,
that's
Mr.
all
Peeler?
right, yes.
What is the name of the river boundary between Texas and Mexico?
The river boundary between...
What is the river between Texas and Mexico?
Oh, yes, I know what that river is.
I don't know, and I wish you'd tell me, huh?
Between Texas and Mexico? Yeah, the Rio Grande.
Rio Grande is right, huh?
And we're on our way, Groucho. That's $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $30 you going to try?
Half.
Half? Is that all right with you, Mr. Peeler?
Well, I guess so.
All right. What is the name of the South American river with the largest volume of water in the world?
Well, Amazon.
The Amazon is right.
We're on the way now. They have $45.
Here's your third question. How much of the 45 will you try?
What do you say?
Oh, we can spare 20, I guess.
20 it is.
$20. What is the name of the river that cuts through the Grand Canyon?
Colorado.
The Colorado is right.
And now they have $65.
$65 is your last chance to beat the other couples. Now, how much of the 65?
Let's shoot half of it anyway. You want to shoot all of it?
What he says, Bill,
I'd like to come out with a $5 bill anyway.
What do you care? You're going to print your own money anyhow.
Well, mine ain't any good, you see. I can't spend mine yet.
All right, kids, come on. We got another show next Thursday. What are you going to do?
$20.
How much?
$20.
$20. Here's your last. All right, here we go. London Bridge crosses what English river?
Oh, you know that.
Now, don't get your own bridge
The Thames.
mixed up in this, huh? The Thames is right, huh?
And they wind up with a grand total of $85. And that means the laundry lady and the married man with $180 get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Friends, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer handles two really great cars, the magnificent DeSoto and the beautiful Plymouth. DeSoto, with its graceful sweeping lines, is really a new concept in driving comfort. You'll thrill to DeSoto's featherlight steering. You'll enjoy DeSoto's new chair-high seats, and you'll be amazed at the huge rear window that greatly increases visibility. Yes, and there's even more to discover about the new DeSoto. It's an economical car to operate. No car in America has bigger brakes. It brings you a waterproof ignition. And, of course, DeSoto lets you drive without shifting. So drive a DeSoto before you decide. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. No matter where you are or where you drive, look for those two great names linked together, DeSoto, Plymouth.
Well, here we are, the gal from the laundry and the fly trap, eh? All right, here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Ready? What is the name of the city that has been the capital of Korea for more than 2,000 years? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Sewell.
Sewell is right. Well, you had the right answer, so you win $1,000. What are you going to do with all that money?
I kind of like...
You're going to buy a bathing suit and go back in that raft, huh?
Oh, well, I think I'll kind of spread it around. I think...
Well, spread some around me, will you?
Money's fun if you can share it, and I can think of a few people that kind of need some.
Well, that's a good way to spend the money, yeah? Let's see, you win $1,000, and how much?
$180 in the quiz.
That's $1,180. You really cleaned up tonight. Congratulations. From the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast, you bet your life.
You bet your life. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Folks, here's a tip from the National Safety Council about good highway habits. If your policy on the road is courtesy, you are always the beneficiary. You Bet Your Life is produced by John Goodell, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is grass. Grass.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
That's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who's first to try for it?
Well, we asked if there were any young people present tonight who'd like to get married if they found the right partner.
I see.
And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Christine Carson and Dan Metzger. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers, and if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you see every day. Christine Carson and Dan Metzger. Miss Christine Carson. Shall I call you Christine, or do you have a nickname?
Well, everybody calls me Chris, and then Mother used to call me Ouija.
Where are you from, Ouija? We get familiar very quickly. It's about as far as I get with my familiarity, but at least it's a step in the wrong direction. Where are you from, Ouija? Didn't I say that a minute ago? I'm even bored with myself, and the show hasn't even started yet. Now, which one is Ouija? I forgot. Well, every time I holler Ouija, you throw your hand up. Now, where are you from?
I'm from Oakland, California.
Oakland, eh? Dan Metzger, eh? What's your nickname, Dan?
Well, some call me Dan, Danny, or I have friends that call me Daniel Boone.
How close do you know these people? And where are you from, Dan?
Melfort, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Oh. Somebody out there from Port Jervis. How old are you, Mr. Boone?
30 years old.
30 years old. Well, that's a ripe old age. And Ouija, what is your age?
I'm 23.
23, eh? Well, you're a mighty attractive-looking girl, huh? Now, Fenneman says you'd like to get married if you found the right partner. Is that right, Ouija?
Yes, I would.
Well, that's a very worthy objective. Eh? And I hope you take your objective. Eh? Mr. Boone, would you like to get married?
Eventually, yes.
Well, that's a sneaky answer if I ever heard it. What do you mean? What's your reason? Or have you completely lost your reason?
Well, I would. And after all, we all like the things that go with married life. We all like to settle down, have a darling little wife and children, what have you.
Are you asking me or telling me? What did you say? You'd like to have a family, is that it? Well, is there any particular family that you crave, I mean? I must say that you're the most reluctant bridegroom I've met this year. Maybe I'll have more luck with Ouija here. Who do you work for, Christine?
Arthur Murray.
Oh, is that so? I've known Arthur Murray for 40 years. He makes the best chop suey on 7th Avenue. How long have you worked in that hash house? Or that chop house, I guess.
That's the wrong Murray. I work for the one who teaches dancing.
Oh, well, you're crazy about typesickery, and I'm crazy about chop suey. However, we can still be friends. Dan, where do you work?
I'm an instructor with the Hollywood riding stable.
Oh, well, maybe I can marry you to Christine before the night's over. At least you're sort of a groom already, aren't you? What do you do at Arthur Murray's, Christine?
I teach dancing.
Could you teach me to dance?
Well, of course.
What makes you so sure, you know? Others have tried and failed.
Well, Mr. Murray has a very wonderful testament, and in 35 years there have only been 3 people that he couldn't teach to dance.
And who were they?
They were idiots.
Anyone for shuffleboard? Christine, suppose I wanted to become a social sensation overnight and I decided to take some lessons from Mr. Murray. Now, I come slinking into your studio. What happens?
Well, you're greeted by a woman interviewer, and you're taken on a tour of the studio. You're taken into a private room where the... in
a private room, eh?
Yes, so that the analysis can be made, so that she can study your character and your dancing.
Well, she may not learn much about my dancing, but she'll learn a lot about my character. Now, what next?
Well, then, after the complete analysis has been made, you would be turned over to an instructor.
The police, probably, huh? No. Now, what'd you say?
I said you would be turned over to me.
Oh, now you're talking, huh? Well, it took a long time to get around to that, but it was certainly worth it. What are you going to teach me?
Well, first I'd have to teach you how to hold a girl.
You're kidding, aren't you? Well, now, Dan, let's get back to your stable. Suppose I wanted you to teach me to ride. Where do we begin?
Well, we begin with the reins.
Do we get an umbrella with this lesson? Or... Okay, I know all about the reins. What next?
Well, you take the reins in your left hand, grasp the saddle with your right, put your left foot in the left stirrup, and then throw yourself all the way over.
Am I on the horse now?
Well, you're supposed to be, yes.
That's what you think. I'm on the other side of the horse, flat on my face. Now, Dan, what do you do? What do you look for in a good riding horse?
Well, the first thing I look for is a pair of beautiful eyes. Nice long mane, curvaceous neck, nice teeth.
Kiss me, you fool. Christine, I think he's proposing. Well, I think you make a lovely couple, and I think you're going to be very happy as you ride through life together, waltzing on that horse. Now, in just a minute, you're going to work together for a chance at $1,000. But right now, I want you to pay close attention to Fenneman.
The word reliability is mighty important. And it's a mighty important word to your DeSoto Plymouth dealer, too. For whenever you need service for your car, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer wants to make sure you get reliable service. And as car owners from coast to coast know, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer also handles two really great cars, the brilliant DeSoto and the beautiful Plymouth. When you own a DeSoto, you'll enjoy the pleasure of driving without shifting. You'll thrill to the ease of DeSoto's feather-touch steering. And you'll experience the feeling of greater security when you bring the DeSoto to a stop. No car in America has bigger brakes. Yes, for a smooth-riding car that's economical to operate, DeSoto is the car to buy. So drive a DeSoto before you decide. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Look for those two great names linked together. DeSoto, Plymouth.
Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for $1,000. Fenneman, tell them the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of four questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show. You see, our other two couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's going on out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected farm animals and birds as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
$5.
$5, all right. What kind of a farm animal is a Hereford? Hereford.
That's a cow.
That certainly is, huh?
That's right, it's a cow. And they're on their way with $25.
All right, you're on your way with $25. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 25 will you risk?
10.
Let's try 15.
15?
15. All right. What is a percheron?
It's a horse.
A horse is correct.
You folks are really climbing now. You have $40.
You got $40, and here's your third question.
$30.
How much you going to bet?
$30.
$30. What is a New Zealand white?
New Zealand white.
Yeah.
It's a chicken.
You agree with that?
I don't know. We'll take the
Well, I'm
word
sorry,
for it.
but it's a rabbit. They taste a good deal alike, but it was the wrong answer.
And they've dropped to $10, Groucho.
Well, that's a shame. You dropped to $10. All right. Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
10.
Okay. What is a leghorn?
It's a chicken.
A chicken is correct.
And they wind up with a grand total of $20.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, stick around now. You may get a chance at the big question.
Friends, our next couple has been in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know the secret word is grass. Perhaps they'll say it while they're talking to you, Groucho. Okay, fellas, bring them in. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a trash man and a housewife to be his partner. And here they are, Marshall Rabens and Christina McLean. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Marshall Rabens, you're a trash collector, eh?
Oh, that's right.
Pretty snappy dresser for a trash collector.
I only work the daytimes.
This isn't part of the stuff that you collected, evidently.
No, I don't have that kind of luck.
Are you in business for yourself?
Yes, I am.
What do you call your business?
Yellow Barrel Company.
And Christina McLean, is it?
That's right.
It's a Scotch name, huh?
Yes, it is.
Nice one, too.
Thank you.
What sort of work does your husband do, Mrs. McLean?
He's a retired railroad man.
Do you have any trash at your house?
Why, of course, every housewife has trash.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Some women think a lot of their husbands. How did you meet your husband, Mrs. Mack? I'll call you Mrs. Mack, huh?
All right, that's fine. Well, I went home from work one day, and my mother was having the winter cold put in, and she was also canning strawberries. So I was going down the cellar steps quite gingerly, carrying this crate of strawberries, when a voice said, would you like some help there? So when he said that, I was so scared I dropped the strawberries and fell down the rest of the steps. Well, the fellow, he came out and tried to help me, and my mother came to the cellar door and she yelled, for heaven's sake, what's going on down there? He said, well, I'm trying to help your daughter pick up the strawberries. And she thought he meant pick them. And she didn't know.
Your mother didn't hear very well, huh?
No, she was up in the kitchen. She couldn't hear me.
Does she hear well in the kitchen? Huh?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't even know your mother.
Oh, you'd like her if you did.
Oh, I'd be crazy about it, but we have an oil burner. So very little contact with strawberries or coal, huh? Now, Marshall, what do you think of Mrs. McLean's story?
I thought it was a very fine story.
Yeah. Well, you're accustomed to trash. Now,
Oh, no, that wasn't nice.
No, that wasn't nice. I like the story. I thought it had a nice tender quality to it. Now, Marshall, are you employed by the city or the county?
Oh, neither one. I'm a private enterprise.
Private, huh? Well, you're independent. You mean you won't pick up any trash that doesn't appeal to you, is that right?
That's right.
He's a true collector, this fellow, huh? Now, how many homes do you service in a day, Marshall?
I'll make about 200 pickups a day.
Really? I must be in the wrong business. I haven't made one in 3 weeks, huh? Now, Mrs. Mack, would you be interested in Marshall's trash collection service?
No, I don't believe so.
Marshall, you've got a job. Sell Mrs. McLean your service. Go ahead.
Well, Miss McLean, we leave you a barrel, first of all, so you can put everything in a barrel. You can roll it to the curb. In a barrel, you can put leaves, so many items, grass clippings, and...
Grass. That's the secret word. Grass.
Grass with a secret
Well, you
word.
kids have just made $100 between you. You divide this between you, huh?
Isn't that grass?
Isn't that wonderful, huh? It just shows if you talk long enough, anything can happen around here. Well, how about it, Mrs. McLean? Are you sold on this pitch?
Yes, but he doesn't go by my house.
I'm sure he could arrange that. Where is your house?
In Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Well, on your next trip out here, bring your trash with you, Mrs. McLean. Do your customers ever give you any trouble, Marshall?
Yes, every now and then we hear about or we catch someone in the middle of the night sneaking out of the house and carrying their trash across the street or to their neighbors and dumping into the barrel. And
What a shabby thing to do, huh? Now, I think we've covered the trash situation pretty carefully, unless there's something you'd like to add. You've got anything to say,
how's the trash situation at your home?
Well, I do the same thing with mine as my neighbor does. I throw it in his barrel. Well, I think you two are going to make a lot of money as you go through life, and your paper profits will be wonderful on this route, Marshall. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for $1,000. You run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much they won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The dance instructor and the writing instructor are ahead with $20.
Now, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected American meanings for English words as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try? Talk right up.
$10.
Try for
$10. Remember, you've got 100 already. All right, they call it a lift. What do we call it?
Elevator?
Elevator is correct.
And you folks are on your way. You have $30.
Now you got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you try?
20.
All right, what are they talking about when they refer to ladders in reference to their clothing? Kind of tough, but take a stab at it anyhow.
Shoes?
No, you were close.
Elevator.
It runs in stockings. That's what they call it.
They now have $10.
Oh, the voice of doom here, huh? Well, you're down to $10. That's too
Sure,
bad.
the 10.
All right, you're going to bet your $10 on this one?
Yes.
All right, what is our word for suspender belt?
Braces.
No.
Suspender belt.
Do you agree with that? Yeah?
Suspender belt?
Yeah.
I mean the suspenders they put
In
on?
England, they call it a suspender belt. What do we call it?
Suspenders. Suspenders.
No,
Braces.
no. I'm sorry. It's a girdle.
In England? Oh.
Well,
I'm not
you
familiar
shouldn't
with
have known that, but you should certainly have known that. I'm surprised at you. If you'd spend
Suspender
less
belt.
time in that soft coal, Mrs.
Well, Groucho, these people went broke.
Well, we can't let them go away. With
Absolutely
nothing.
not. We'll get a bad reputation.
All
So,
right. Well, you've
I
got
have
that
a
already,
question.
Fenneman, but I haven't. All right, here's one more chance to win some money. You get this one right, and we'll give you $10. And no help from the audience, please. In what city was the Boston Tea Party held?
Boston.
In Boston, that's right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Fenneman, who's ahead?
The dance instructor and the unmarried man that worked at the stable is ahead with $20. Do you know if that's true or not?
No, I don't, but since you said it,
He's ahead with $20.
inasmuch as you said it, I doubt it.
And our next couple has been off stage, so they, of course, don't know the secret word is grass. Just before we went on the air, Groucho, our studio audience selected a young lady who works in an employment agency, Miss Mildred Harradine. And her partner is a yacht broker, Mr. Charles Beauchamp. And here they are now. Folks, come on over here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers, folks, and if you say the secret word, you'll spend $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Harradine, is that right?
That's right.
Well, where are you from, Mildred?
Salem, Massachusetts.
Mr. Beauchamp, is that? You're a yacht
Beauchamp,
broker.
yes, sir.
Beauchamp, is it? You're a yacht broker, is
Yes,
that right?
that's my business.
I thought you looked pretty crafty. Where are you from, Charlie, my boy?
Iowa.
Iowa, huh?
Yeah.
You're in the yacht business, and you're from Salem, huh?
That's right.
You should be from Salem if you're in the yacht business.
That's right.
You do Salem, don't you?
Oh, yes, once in a while.
I'll scratch something out of this yet. Huh? Who do you work for, Mr. Beauchamp?
Well, I'm in business for myself.
I see. And how is business?
Oh, very good. I can't complain.
Well, would you if you could?
Oh, I would.
How many yachts did you sell today?
Oh, none today.
Well, aren't people hoarding yachts these days? You didn't sell any today, but business is good, eh?
Yeah.
How many don't you sell on a bad day?
Well, you don't buy a yacht just like you go out and buy a pound of hamburger, you know.
Well, if the price of hamburger gets much higher, there won't be much difference, huh? Now, Mildred, at your agency, do you fill any type of job, or do you just handle certain types?
Just certain types.
Would you be interested in my type, Mildred?
Uh-uh.
Not so quick with the answer. I would have been flattered by just a little hesitation on your part. Obviously, you're not interested in handsome, dashing young men, eh?
Oh, yes, I am.
Something tells me my barber's been lying to me. Eh? Now, let's find out something about your business, Mr. Beauchamp. For example, just what is a yacht?
Well, a yacht is a boat
That I know. I mean...
from, I'd say 40 foot and running around $20,000 to $2 million.
Really? And how many of these financial disasters have you sold this year? Huh?
Well, I've turned over about 12.
You've turned over 12 boats?
Yes.
And you sold them anyway? Suppose I bought a $2 million yacht now. Where could I go in it?
Oh, with a yacht of that size, you'd go anywhere you wanted to.
Look pretty silly going up Wilshire Boulevard. Well, suppose I just bought a cheap little thing, say around $40,000. Where could I go in that?
Well, you could go to Catalina on weekends. That's about the only place you can go around here.
That's about all you could do with a $40,000 yacht, go to Catalina?
Yeah.
Oh, what you don't know about yachts, Mr. Beauchamp, eh? I can go fishing, too, you know. Right? Anything unusual ever happened to a yacht broker, Mr. Beauchamp?
Oh, yes, quite often. It wasn't so very long ago. I was showing a boat I just sold, and we'd been all through the boat, and he said, well, how is the running rigging on the boat? And I said, oh, it's just fine. It's all brand new. And as I said that, I leaned up against the boom, and the line just parted like that, and I fell in the bay.
And did they fish you out?
Well, I fished myself out. The party that was buying the boat was quite a comedian. He looked down at me, and he said, well, Pardon me, can I get your hat for you? It was floating off down the bay.
He wasn't a professional comedian, huh?
I think he was.
Well, now tell me, suppose you sell a yacht, let's say a $2 million job. Now, what do you get out of it?
Oh, I get 10% off the top.
You get 10% off the top? Doesn't the poor sucker even get a poop deck for his $2 million? Why would anyone need a yacht broker, Commodore? What's to stop me from going out and buying a yacht? Besides money, I mean. How do you earn your 10%?
Well, first I know that the boat is all right, that there's no worms or dry rot in it, and that it's a good, clean deal.
What do you mean by a clean deal?
Well, no dirty bilge.
What's a dirty bilge? Is that what you get at the first of the month? What's the most luxurious yacht you have ever handled?
It was one that was built in the Great Lakes. It's a very modern, ultra-modern, streamlined design. There's about 10 staterooms. They're all double staterooms. And they have real deep, thick rugs throughout the boat. And in fact, a fella could walk through that rug with a hole in his pants. You couldn't even see it. And
what was that? You could walk through what?
That rug.
Yeah, how?
With a hole in the seat of his pants, and you couldn't even see it. They're so deep.
Guy buys a yacht for $2 million and he's got a hole in his pants. That fellow's not a very shrewd businessman. Now, how much a month would it cost to operate a scow like that?
Oh, it would run about $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. That's for 2 pair of pants, I suppose, huh? Now, Mildred, just how do you go about finding the right girl for the right job? Now, suppose I wanted a girl and called you up. What would you do?
Well, I'd ask you some questions first.
I thought there was a catch in it. I want a redhead with nice eyes and one who is a whiz at keeping her figures in line. Now, how about it?
Well, does that secretary have to be a fast typist?
Well, not too fast. I should be able to catch her after about the third lap. Well, you've been an interesting couple, and I think I'll find my own secretary. But we're happy to have you here anyhow. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other 2 couples, you'll get a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. Now, I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The dance instructor and the writing instructor are still leading with $20.
Now, let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected birds and animals, male and female, as your category.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you risk?
10.
All right, Mildred?
10.
All right, cow is the female. What is the male?
Heifer, isn't it?
Bull. A bull is right. You agree with that, I'm sure.
Well, you folks are on your way. Have $30.
The fellow's been on a yacht. He certainly knows a lot about cattle. Huh? Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you try?
You try this time.
Let's try 15.
All right. What do you call a female deer?
A doe.
A doe is right, and you've won some right there. Huh?
Yes, they're climbing now. They have $45.
Well, you got a lot of doe. You got $45. Here's your third question. Now, how much of the 45?
20.
20?
Okay.
Are you looking at him for advice or just admiringly? What are you, $20? What do you call a female pig?
A sow.
A sow is correct.
Wow, they're really climbing now. They have $65.
She knows more about sows than cows, huh? All right, you got $65. Now, how much are you going to try at the 65?
You guess it.
Let's try 25.
25. All right, what do you call a male goose?
A gander.
A gander is correct.
And they wind up with a grand total of $90. They are the winners. That means that you, too, get a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. Friends, I think you'll agree that you get the best job done when you go to a specialist. Well, when you need service of any kind for your car, take it to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Because there you'll find specialists in the field of service. You'll like the quick, speedy service DeSoto Plymouth dealers will give you. They have factory-trained mechanics who work with the most modern equipment. Right on hand, they have a large supply of factory-engineered and inspected Mopar parts. This means you're on your way quickly without needless waiting. So next time your car needs service, take it to the place you know you'll get the work of specially trained men. drive in at the sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
I thought they did it very well this time, man.
And here's our winning couple, Groucho. The lady from the employment agency and the yacht broker all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Well, this will seem like small potatoes to you after that $2 million commission. But I'm sure you can use the $500 if you win, brother. All right, here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. And think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. It's a long one. Think carefully. Just 100 years ago, a unique republic was founded. Their official language is English. They use the dollar as a medium of exchange. And the country was founded by a settlement of citizens from the United States. What country is it that is so much like our own in government? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Heidi.
No, I'm sorry. It's Liberia. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you did pretty well. Let's see. You lost the big money, but how much did you win? You won how much? $90 in the quiz?
$90 in the quiz, yes.
And no secret word?
No secret word.
Well,
for
that
these
isn't bad for a half hour's work, $90. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
Thank you. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Folks, here's a tip from the National Safety Council about good highway habits. Don't save the checkup of your windshield wipers for a rainy day. You Bet Your Life is produced by Don Goodell, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is floor. F-L-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! That's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. Fetterman, who's supposed to try for it?
Well, we asked if there were any high school students here tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Donna Eberhard and Claire Thompson. Come on in, folks. I'd like you to meet Groucho Marx, right over here.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers, and if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Donna Eberhard, and Claire Thompson. Oh, nice names. High school students?
Yeah.
What high school do you attend, Donna?
Van Nuys High School.
Did anybody ever tell you had very pretty blue eyes, Donna?
No, they didn't.
You don't mind if I don't believe what you just said?
I don't care.
That's what I like, indifference in a woman. How old are you, Donna?
17.
17, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And how old are you, Claire?
18.
18. Well, that makes 18, 17, 20, 15, 30. Well, I guess I'm just a generation behind you two, huh? Donna, would you say I belong to your father's generation?
Yes, I would, because my father's often said that his father used to take him to your movies.
Well, that's true. They used to exhibit our pictures in a covered wagon right outside of Sioux City. And after the show, we'd all go over to Custer's Stand for the last stand for some football. How old is your grandfather?
Oh, about 74.
That's me, all right. Now, Donna, what would you like to be when you graduate? You're not going to be a diplomat. That's Since that field is closed to you, what do you crave in the way of a vocation?
I'd like to be a nurse.
A nurse?
Mm-hmm.
I've had a pain in my back for the last 2 years. What kind of a nurse?
Just a practical, registered nurse.
Practical? Well, aren't they all practical? All nurses? They are when they talk to me. You have no idea how practical those girls are. And Claire, what is your ambition?
Oh, I want to be a FBI agent.
Are you studying towards that ambition, Claire?
Yeah.
What way? What are you doing to perfect yourself for this?
Oh, playing football. Well, I take subjects for it, a few.
Huh?
I take a few subjects for it, like math and a few things.
Uh-huh. And what do you do after math? No. Now, Clara, are you on the team?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. What position do you play?
Fullback.
Are you interested in football, Donna?
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh. What position do you play?
Oh, I don't play any position.
Oh, well, what do you do?
No, I just follow the team.
You do, huh? Do they ever wonder what you're doing in the shower? How do you feel about athletics in general, Donna?
Oh, I like all sports.
You do, huh? Mm-hmm. Would you consider an old sport like that? There used to be an old vaudeville joke about, the fellow would say, do you like indoor sports? And she'd say yes if he goes home early. You don't hear that joke often, very often. I think that explains why. Do you have any extracurricular activities?
Oh, we have an honor organization. You have to have a B and 3 A's to get into it.
That's how you qualify? A B and 3 A's?
Yes, it is.
A B and 3 A's. That's... Well, no, you'll probably get a sheepskin, won't you? Now, as a football player, do you observe training rules?
Oh, sure.
What are the rules?
Oh, no drinking, no smoking, and you have to be asleep by 9.
Well, that's easy. You get to school at 8:45, you're asleep by 9. What do you do in football training?
Oh, we scrimmage and wind sprints, run laps. And...
Wind sprints? What's wind sprints?
Oh.
There's no fellow named Wind Sprints. Charlie Wind Sprints, who lives in Toledo. What is a wind sprint, huh?
That's just sprints, short sprints, 40 yards, up to 100 or something.
No, like the Spencer Whales? Is that it?
No relation.
There's no relation at all, huh? Well, what are the fellas wearing on the campus this year, Claire? Anything unusual?
Oh, they wear Levi's with no belts.
Mm-hmm. You don't wear belts on your jeans?
No,
What keeps them up besides the police department? Are there any unusual fads among school kids these days, Donna, like swallowing goldfish?
None that I could think of.
Surely there must be something strange they're doing. Now, think hard, Donna. Get those blue eyes working.
Oh, and the boys may be dyeing their hair green again.
Well, I guess you're right. There's nothing unusual about it. Well, you're nice children. I'm sure you'll both have a lot of fun with the football team this year. Now, in just a minute, you're going to work together for a chance at $1,500. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to Fenneman.
All across the country, DeSoto Plymouth dealers are known for the fair and square way they conduct business. In addition to treating you customers with the fairness you deserve, DeSoto Plymouth dealers are headquarters for two of America's outstanding automobiles, the brilliant DeSoto and the beautiful Plymouth. The DeSoto commands attention at every turn with its sweeping, graceful lines. DeSoto takes you over the roughest roads smoothly and comfortably because of its full cradled ride. The DeSoto is an economical car to operate, and it lets you enjoy the pleasure of driving without shifting. Be sure to drive a DeSoto before you decide on any car. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. So look for those two great names linked together, DeSoto, Plymouth.
Okay, now let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,500. Fenneman, explain the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. A couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
All right, now here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected nursery rhymes as your category. Now here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
10.
10. How many fiddlers did Old King Cole have?
3.
3 is right.
And they're on their way. They have $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $30 will you try?
10.
Okay, 10.
$10. Who are made out of frogs and snails and puppy dogs' tails?
Boys.
Little boys is right.
Oh, they're climbing, Groucho. They have $20.
Here's your third question. Now, how much of the 40 will you try? Talk right up now.
20.
$20. How many blackbirds baked in a pie?
4 and 20.
4 and 20 is right.
They're really climbing now. You kids now have $60.
Here's your last chance to be the other couples. Now, how much will you bet?
20.
Okay, 20.
What did Daddy promise to bring Baby Bunting?
Rabbit.
A rabbit skin.
Yes, and they wind up with a grand total of $80.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
And kids, don't go too
He
far
just said
away.
a rabbit, but you couldn't bring a rabbit skin without bringing a rabbit.
I was going to tell the kids not to go too far away because you still have a chance at the big question at the end of the show. Groucho, our other couples are off stage in a waiting room.
Good place for it.
So they don't know, you see, the secret word is floor. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a poultryman and a housewife to be on the program, and here they come now. Mrs. Claire Tucker and Mr. Alan Bell. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, children, for You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mrs. Claire Tucker, huh?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Alan Bell.
Yes, sir.
You're a poultryman, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, huh? And Mrs. Claire Tucker, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Long Beach, but I'm originally from Macon, Georgia.
Well, I suspected you were south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yes, sir.
People in Long Beach don't have that kind of an accent. Huh? They have an accent, but it's not that one. Huh? It's a kind of a seaweed accent they have. How long have you been away from Macon, Georgia?
Well, I've been out here 8 years, but I lived in Miami for about 20 years in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And you prefer Long Beach?
Yes, sir. And my husband's a Floridian, too, and he's gone Californian strictly.
Does your husband know that you go around calling him a Floridian? Those are fighting words in some states. How long have you been married, Claire?
Well, I've been married to this fella 10 years.
Oh, this is Exhibit B?
Yes, sir.
And the first one?
I was married to him 25 years.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a carpenter.
Is that how you nailed him?
No,
No,
he was
we
with the
nailed you, I
he was with the water company of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, when I
What
met
did he
him.
do there? Block up water?
No, well, he came out to see about why we didn't have any water at the house. He was a meter man.
Mm-hmm. And you wanted to meet a man at that time?
Well, with 9 children.
You wanted to meet a man with 9 children?
I had 9 and he had 4.
Oh. Did he know you had 9 when he came out to fix the meal?
He didn't know it, but he soon found out.
Are you married, Al?
Yes, sir.
Some poultryman. Got himself in the coop. A DeSoto coop, of course. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now, where is your poultry shop, Mr. Bell?
That's Bell's Poultry Farm, 2636 South Crenshaw, Los Angeles.
All right, you can stop crowing now. Let's not overdo it, Al, huh? Now, just what do you do as a chicken chase, as a poultry man, huh?
I retail poultry.
You retail poultry, eh? That sounds like pretty specialized work. For example, say a rooster has lost his tail. How do you retail a new one?
I buy wholesale and sell retail.
Oh, I see. Do you sell them live?
No, dressed.
Well, if you put new tails on them, I'd say they were overdressed. Huh? How much would you charge for dressing a chicken? Say about 110 pounds.
You and I are thinking of two different kinds of chickens.
Okay, you stick to your chickens and I'll stick to mine. Now tell me, Drumstick, why is poultry so expensive?
Well, it's our poultry is just a little higher than it was last year.
If they go much higher, you'll need an anti-aircraft gun to bring them down. How much do you charge for a chicken at your place?
Well, just depends what kind of a chicken you want.
Well, this is a shot in the dark, but let's say I want to eat it.
Well,
how much would that be? Huh?
Well, what do you want? A roaster, or a fryer, or a stewer?
Well, I think a stewed chicken would be fun.
Well, for that, we'll give you an old hen.
I'll thank you to mind your own business. For a guy from Philadelphia, he's plenty sharp, this fellow. Now, how can I tell if your eggs are fresh?
You don't have to worry about my eggs.
Look, if you think I'm laying awake at night worrying about your eggs, you're a bigger cluck than I think you are. Now, what's the most difficult thing about running a poultry shop, Mr. Bell?
Well, it's where you get your chickens and where they come from.
You're in the poultry business and you don't know where chickens come from? Fine poultry man, huh? Have you ever wondered where your eggs came from?
My eggs come from Joe Breyer's egg farm in Costa Mesa.
That reminds me of an old joke. Which came first, the chicken or Joe Breyer's egg farm? Well, I think you two are a couple of good eggs, and I think you're going to be very happy together. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for $1,500. You run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but Fetterman's off stage to remind our listeners.
The high school students won $80.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected former Academy Award winners as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
$10? Yeah, $10.
$10. Who won the award in 1942 as Mrs. Miniver?
Greer Garson.
Greer Garson is correct. And you folks are on your way. You now have $30. You're a smart chicken there, Bell. And remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much, $40? $30. How much of the $30 will you bet on your second question?
25.
25. Who won the award in 1945 as the alcoholic writer in The Lost Weekend?
Ray Milland.
Ray Milland is correct.
Oh, these people are really climbing. They now have $55.
Now, here's your third question. How much of the $55 will you bet now?
50.
50. Who won the award in 1949 as the politician in All the King's Men?
Broderick Crawford.
Broderick Crawford is correct.
Now they climb to $105.
Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
$100.
$100? Who won the award for her portrayal of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind?
Vivian Lee.
Vivian Lee is correct.
And they wind up with a grand total of $205.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Yes, and now we'll soon know who's going to get the chance at the big $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. Because, you see, at this point, the poultryman and the housewife, the people who were just here...
Yes, I remember that.
They have
it's quite clear to me, Senator.
I was going to say, they are leading with $205.
That's a shrewd observation, isn't it, huh?
I guess you know the secret word is still floor.
Yes, I do. Still floor is a very nice word.
Just floor. We invited some people to the program tonight, ladies and gentlemen, who make their living handling money. And just before we went on the air, Miss Connie Conray and Mr. Arthur Gruby were chosen to be on the show. And here they are, Groucho. Folks, meet Groucho Marx right here.
Welcome, folks, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll spend $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mrs. Connie Conray, I'm glad to see you. Where are you from, Connie?
Texas.
Texas, eh? Whereabouts?
Crockett.
Crockett?
That's a small town north of Houston.
Oh. Is that named after Davy?
Sam.
Sam. Well, wasn't there a Davy Crockett, too?
David Crockett, Sam Houston.
Oh. Let's slip over to Nacogdoches, huh? Mr. Gruby, what kind of... Isn't that a kind of an unusual name?
Well, I think it has
Scotch and German. I think originally it was grub, and somebody changed it and made it G-R-U-B-E instead of G-R-U-B-B.
Have you ever shot BB?
Not for a long time.
Do you prefer Groovy to grub?
I believe so.
Well, if I was hungry, I'd prefer grub. I never ate any Groovy. Now, where are you from?
New York City, originally.
New York City?
That's right.
And were you born there?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. You haven't got much of a New York accent.
Oh, I was born
whereabouts?
On First Avenue.
Oh, on First Avenue. Huh?
That's right.
I was born 78th Street. On Third Avenue. Huh? I was born upstairs, but I mean it was right over a butcher shop. Huh? You say you handle money, is that right? Fenneman
Yes.
says you handle money. Do you still handle money? Are you still in that?
I'm retired now.
Oh. Well, if you handle somebody else's money, I can understand why. Well, what have you retired from, Mr. Groovy?
I was with the U.S. Secret Service for 28 years.
Not so loud. I think there's a dictaphone on the microphone. Now, Mrs. Conray, is that right?
Yes.
You're a money expert, too?
Well, it passes through my hands.
It passes through your hands? Well, it passes through mine, too, but I'm no money expert. So. What is your occupation, Connie?
I work in a penny arcade.
Oh, pennies from heaven, huh? Are you what I see when I drop a penny in the peep show machine?
Oh, no, you're thinking about the dancing girls.
Well, I wasn't, but I could be persuaded. What do you do at this penny arcade?
I'm the cashier, and I change dollars into pennies.
Uh-huh. And where do you do your changing?
At the Joyland Arcade, downtown Los Angeles.
Arthur, tell us something about your work. What are your duties as a Secret Service man?
Well, our principal function is to protect the President of the United States.
Against who? Republicans? Have you ever guarded a president?
Oh, yes. I was in fact, the last man that shook the hands of President Wilson when he left Pueblo, Colorado. And right after that, he had his breakdown and subsequently died. And then in 23, when I was up with President Harding in the Northwest, I left him at Seattle. He went down to San Francisco, and he passed away at the Palace Hotel.
You're a good fellow to avoid. You're what is known as the kiss of death, huh? Well, if that's what you call guarding the presidents, I don't know. We have a different notion. Aside from acting as a bodyguard of the presidents, what are some of the other Secret Service duties, Arthur?
Well, our principal duty is suppression of counterfeiting.
Just how do you work? Suppose somebody gives you a phony $5 bill and you suspect counterfeiters are at work. How do you track them down?
Well, that would all depend. Each individual case has its own, presents its own problem. In the course of time and an investigation, if it's determined that a certain gang is operating, why we frequently try to get an agent in with the gang, gain a confidence.
Mm-hmm. I see. And did you assume a disguise?
Well, not in a sense that you wear a false mustache. And
please, don't
make
be personal. That is, I do the insulting around here, Grover.
That's only in pictures and stories.
What's the most interesting job you've worked on, Arthur?
Well, that'd be pretty hard to say, but...
well, say it anyway, huh?
Recently, I completed an assignment with 20th Century Fox as a technical advisor on a picture having to do with the Secret Service called Mr. 880.
What does that title come from?
Well, it relates to an authentic case of an old man in New York who passed counterfeit $1 bills.
Well, I'm glad you told me. Now I won't have to go to the picture. Have you ever destroyed any large amounts of money?
Yes. Shortly after the war broke out, I was sent over to Hawaii, and shortly after I got over there, I was joined by some men from the Treasury Department, and we got rid of between $15 and $20 million in genuine currency because the idea was that it would keep it out of the hands of the Japs if they successfully invaded the islands.
You destroyed $20 million in genuine currency?
That's right.
And how soon after that did you retire?
To be exact, about 5 years.
Well, I think you played it very smart, huh? Congratulations, Arthur. I didn't think you could get away with it. Well, Mrs. Conway, you've been very quiet. Have you learned anything from this man?
Oh, yes.
What have you learned specifically?
Oh.
Just as I thought, you didn't learn anything. Tell us about your penny arcade, Mrs. Conway. Do you have any machines that might interest me?
Oh, I think so. We have some punching bags, skee ball, rifles, kiss tester, and love meter.
What's a love meter?
If you put in a penny, it registers if you're hot or cold, amorous, shy, bashful.
And is it pretty authentic?
Oh, yes. Depends on how hard you squeeze, though.
Well, for a nickel, will it keep its mouth shut? Suppose I put a penny in the love meter. How do you think I'd register?
Well, it depends on how hard you squeezed.
Could I try it on you?
I suppose so.
Well, what am I, Connie?
Harmless.
Connie, are you living in a dream world, huh? Well, it's my own fault. I used a counterfeit penny, huh? Now, you're going to play your bet your life. You beat our other two couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The poultryman and the housewife are ahead with $205.
All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected Famous Williams as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
$10.
$10. Is that all right with you, Connie?
That's all right.
All right. What William shot an apple from his son's head?
William Tell.
William Tell is correct. And they're on their way there. $30. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of your $30 will you try in your second question?
Oh, let's make it 18.
$18? That's careful figuring, isn't it? Huh? What William created the Thin Man in the movies?
William Powell.
William Powell is correct.
That's fine. We have $48.
All right, you have $48. Here's your third question. How much of the 48?
Okay, you name it.
20.
Oh, no, 40 anyway.
Okay.
Okay, $40. All right, here's your third question. You bet $40. All right. What famous politician named William was known as the silver-tongued orator?
William Jennings Bryan.
William Jennings Bryan. All right, now you've got $88. That's the name of that picture, isn't it? $88? All right. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to bet?
We have 88. Let's all of it, huh?
Okay.
Okay. What was the name of England's greatest poet and dramatist? His name was William.
Shakespeare.
And they wind up with a grand total of $176.
And that means the poultryman and the housewife with $205 get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. Friends, when your car needs service, know-how is the all-important thing. That's why the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America ask you to bring your car to them. They have the know-how to service your car quickly and expertly. The service mechanics at a DeSoto Plymouth Dealers are factory trained. Then they keep their skills up to the minute by taking additional training courses at regular intervals. These courses help a skilled man keep his skills up to date. It's know-how like this that gives you better work in the shortest possible time. And when work is performed quickly and expertly, it means a smaller bill for you. So next time your car needs service, drive in wherever you see the sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here's the poultryman and the housewife all ready for their chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question.
All right, now here we go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer, so think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Each star on our flag represents a state. For $1,500, tell me, what state does the first star represent? In other words, what is the first state to be admitted officially into the Union?
I'll take a stab. My home state, Pennsylvania.
No, I'm sorry. It's Delaware. The correct answer is Delaware, so that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but you won how much? $205 in the quiz. Congratulations and thanks to both of you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America salute all automobile dealers from coast to coast who celebrate National Automobile Dealer Week, October 22nd through October 28th. You Bet Your Life is transcribed from Hollywood, produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.